Gopitana Vallabha Divine Grace SB.6.11.5-18 Ananda Vaishnava Jai Navacharshas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sagasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Girivaran Vijay Vrindavan Dham Gijay Mathura Dham Gijay Haridham Gijay Vrindavan Gijay Yamuna Mai ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Gauda Premanandi. All glories to the assembly devotees, all glories to the assembly devotees, all glories to the assembly devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Gauradesh, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Das Buch, das müsste mal richtig wieder eingebunden werden hier. Ha? Macht denn das hier noch in Deutschland? Ja? Ich habe viele Bücher, die ich eingebunden habe. Harten Umschlag. Ne? Kann man einen harten Umschlag haben noch. Namam Vishwavadaya Krishna Vasaya Bhutale Shivara Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachari Nanda Vishesha Shunyavadi Pashtacha Satadana. So we're reading from the Transcendental Diary by Hari Swami Prabhu, and we continue hearing from Prabhupada in Vrindavan. For the second time since he has been here, Prabhupada cautioned us not to be misled by rascals who say that the Srimad Bhagavatam was written by someone other than Vyasadeva. He said that Srila Vyasadeva wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam for the benefit of the entire world as a natural commentary on his own work, the Vedanta Sutra. Humbly representing himself as a representative of Vyasadeva, he solicited the help of his youthful disciples. So we have tried to explain this Satvata Sanghitam in English for study of the whole world, because English can be understood or it can be translated easily. So these activities are going on, and we are very much thankful to you that you are cooperating. So in India you may find some difficulty. Still, your valuable cooperation is required for the benefit of the whole world. Lokasya jnanato vidvangs chakre satvata sanghitam atma rama chamunayo nirgranta api urukrame kurvanti ahaitukam bhaktim itam bhuta guru harihi. We have to spread the transcendental qualities of Krishna. That is the life's mission. So as far as possible, try to understand, as advised by Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Siddhanta Bodhiya Chite Nakama Alase. Don't be lazy. Always try to understand Krishna by Siddhanta, by Vedic conclusion, not by manufacturing ideas. Don't be lazy. That is the instruction of Kaviraj Goswami. If you study according to the Vedic conclusion, don't manufacture ideas and whims and sentiments. If you go through Siddhanta, then you'll be more and more firmly fixed up. Ihahaite Krishna lage sudha manasa. Then your life is successful. So now Prabhupada is hinting here that it's more difficult in India. Present the Vedic conclusions or the conclusion of the Sampradaya, because there's so many different opinions. It's like we heard yesterday, that in India many times, when you go as a Western devotee, people appear and they start preaching to you. They cite Bhagavad Gita and all kinds of, and they also proclaim, I'm also Brahmin. We were taking a rickshaw once in Vrindavan, and the rickshawala, at seeing that we had a Brahmin thread, he also showed us a Brahmin thread. Very dark Brahmin thread. So this is not exactly what is the Vedic truth. So in order to actually know what is what, like Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, if you want to know the truth, surrender to spiritual, approach the spiritual master. Ask him in a submissive way, ask questions in a submissive way, and serve him. This is the secret to how to access this knowledge. Otherwise, you can't actually understand what is what. So Prabhupada has been taken his massage in his bedroom because the sun is still a little too strong for him. To be exposed to it for an hour and a half. During today's massage, he talked more about the householders and women and children who are being attracted to come and stay here. He stressed the purity of living in Vrindavan. That it is meant for renunciation and not for increasing our material propensities. He said that actually Vrindavan is not meant for householders. It is for the sannyasis, brahmacharis and vanaprasthas, he said. It is meant for retirement from material activity. It is not an ordinary place. But they are coming and thinking, oh, Vrindavan is so nice, and simply eating and having sex. Actually, all sex life is a great offense in Vrindavan. It is not a place for increasing the family. Even so, if they do come, they must work. Not that the sannyasis go out and beg and support the householders. This is very wrong. Householder means that he must work. He must work harder than the others to earn a livelihood and give at least 50% to the temple also. Yeah, so this is also, this example is given by Rupa Goswami. When he renounced and he joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before leaving, he divided all the money he had accumulated. It's mentioned that he had so much gold coins that practically a boat full of gold coins. And Prabhupada, referring to this, mentioned that he was a millionaire actually, compared to nowadays. So anyway, so he divided all he had accumulated. 50% he gave to the Brahmins or to the devotees, like that. Then 25% for his family members who he would leave. And then another 25% he kept for emergencies. And we see from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can see that he also gave money to Sanatana Goswami when Sanatana Goswami wanted to leave. Also, he made sure that he also had some Lakshmi for his expenditures. Anyway, so another point is here, that Prabhupada was mentioning that actually Vrindavan is the place of the Goswamis, and the Goswamis were not Grihastas. Prabhupada mentioned here it's a place for renunciation, not for family life. And we also know from history, we know that in the past, Grihastas, or those who wanted to become Grihastas, they even went to Vrindavan to get married in Vrindavan. Completely contradictory. So, he spoke also about the many false renunciates wandering Vrindavan sacred precincts. They live in the forest, naked, renounced, eating fruits, but debauch number one. Makata Vairagya, monkey renunciates. There are so many Vairagis. Markata Bhakti Vinod Thakur has said, Eta Kali Chale. Here is a disciple of Kali. Na ke tilak kalai mala. but has got a tilak on the forehead and neck beads on the neck, but he is Kali Chela, number one disciple of Kali. You know the song Kali Chela? You know this? Kali Chela? Yeah? He gave a little chuckle as he cautioned us not to broadcast the fate of such a person, lest it got us into trouble. But he said that it was a fact that those who live in Vrindavan and behave like monkeys will take their next birth as monkeys. Then next life they will be liberated. In one life of their sinful activities will be punished, because as soon as animal life is obtained, there is no more further record of the sinful life. The animals cannot make sinful activities more than what is destined by him. But their sinful activity is not taken into account. For this man who is offered this monkey's body, he suffers the inconvenience of monkey life. So his sinful activities are counteracted. And because he came to Vrindavan and lived in Vrindavan by the mercy of Radharani, next life will be ... That is the glory of Vrindavan Dham. Otherwise, what is the explanation of these dogs and hogs and monkeys in Vrindavan? It is Dhamma Aparada. It is Dhamma Aparada, committing offense in Dham. Is Dhamma Bhajana. If one undergoes devotional service out of Vrindavan and one executes devotional service in Vrindavan, that is 100 times better. Similarly, Dhamma Aparada also. This Aparada, when offense is committed outside Vrindavan, that is not so grievous as committing offense in Vrindavan. Dhamma Aparada. So the punishment is there, but the reward is also there. One life makes pardoned. Tate nukampam susamik shamano bunjanya evatma kritam vipakam. Therefore, a devotee in a reverse condition of life, he understands that I am punished, little punished for my previous mischievous activities. So now I am becoming liberated. So he becomes more enthused to worship the Lord, that you are finishing my sinful reactions of life with slight punishment. Thank you very much. This is devotee. Tate nukampam susamik samanaha. Harikesh wanted to clarify at what point such fallen personalities recognize their position and turn to the Lord. Asked, the dogs and monkeys, they feel grateful? Yes, Prabhupada said. When they come to sense, they feel grateful. As dog, they cannot. As dog or monkey, they cannot enhance their sinful activities. It is stopped. And wherever they do, that is not taken into account. And to suffer as dog or monkey means counteracting all previous sins. One punishment, finished. Then he is fully liberated. I remember there was a controversy that actually, I think it was published in Back to Godhead, where Prabhupada was saying that when one acts sinfully in Vrindavan, he is taken up, animal's body. And so these animals, Prabhupada was explaining, were actually persons who had acted sinful in Vrindavan. And this created some controversy. They started criticizing, some inhabitants of Vrindavan started criticizing Srila Prabhupada. And I remember, so when that happened, Prabhupada said, actually, these kind of, these things should not be published. I say no, published. Or just like also, no, we might say that well, these books are always perfect. No, but I remember also when one a god brother of Srila Prabhupada started criticizing Srila Prabhupada's commentaries. No? And I think it was a Bhagavatam. No? And then Prabhupada said, "Don't give them my books." Give them to everyone, menos, no, it is Spanish. Minus, no? Except, no? Except, no, to the Gaudiya well, followers, so-called, followers of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Any questions regarding this? Otherwise we continue. Yeah, yes.
These days you can see Vrindavan is a little bit the opposite. The people who have money, they actually can stay with them because everything is so expensive.
Yeah.
To rent an apartment is like so expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we were there last Kartik, 3,000 rupees, this is like 25 euros per night.
Yeah.
In Vrindavan.
And it's full of hotels also.
So how can the renunciants, they cannot even go there, and, you know, nobody even, if you're renunciant, if you see this sadhu, they're looking down on him, he's not,
yeah.
He's not a big car.
The same thing happened in Govardhan. Yeah. That when Ramakrishna was, they bought this place there, right on the side of the Vrindavan, Govardhan. The people there were complaining, no? They accused ISKCON of being the cause of all the prices going up. No? Yeah. And we can see that also when we go to Vrindavan on the festival, no, all the prices rise. No? Everything becomes more expensive than the rest of the year. Yeah. That's why we are accustomed when we do things, when we buy things, let's say in Vrindavan, all these places, we always take an Indian with us. You know? Because with Indians, they have this facility of discussing properly with them. You know? In India, at least when we went at the first times, they had no fixed prices. Whoever came, they gave them a different price. And it's a custom that when people go to buy things, clothes or something like that, normally they don't go alone. You know? They go with more family members. And when you go to these shops, you can also see there's different generations there in the shop. You know? The oldest is sitting like in the back, you know, kind of. Then and the children, you know, the young members, they show you the cloth and all this, you know, and they also bring you Coca-Cola or whatever you want to take there. You know? And you can see there's a whole hierarchy there. You know? And another thing is also, I notice sometimes when you sit there buying things, a Brahmin comes in, you know? And he does puja to the pictures of the forefathers and on the wall, you know? And they get it. And give him a donation. Anyway, it's a different culture, it's different traditions. That's why I mentioned it's good to be accompanied by some trustworthy Indian or Indian devotee in these places. You know, I always tell the devotees when they go to India on pilgrimage, when they don't have any experience, that they always go accompanied. How do you say? Yeah, with somebody, to do this in the presence of devotees who have already more experience in this place. Anyway, yes, thank you. Anything else? He has a lot of experience in India also, no? Huh?
I have a question.
Yes.
The prices are getting higher, not only in India. The retreats here in Europe are also cost very much. The retreats, Holy retreats, different retreats, they're getting more and more expensive, very expensive. Not only in India.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something else. No, when you go into a shop here, they all have fixed prices. You get Kaufhof or any of these they have the prices there. Yeah. Where, especially when you go, to the outside the cities, and you go to Vrindavan or some place like that. Normally they don't have the same fixed prices, or they change their prices. Like I mentioned, for the tourists, they see the devotees more as tourists, and they have done a lot of money, by selling to the Western devotees. And I remember also when we started going to India. The Europeans and Americans, they used to have a bag here, I say, when they have their passport and their money and all that. And that's not very common in India, especially when they bought things. They opened the bag and everyone could see all these bills here, dollar bills, euro bills. No, it's just more discreet. We're not used to that. Of course, well, in Germany, not so, I say, I don't want to say degraded, but you also start, there's like the places where I'm normally am. There's a lot of, I say, cheating and delinquency and all that. Yeah. So here. And then you can see, in the petrol stations and the banks, there's always a guy with a machine gun, watching. And I'm always telling the devotees that this is advanced Kali Yuga. And here, and Kali Yuga is also slowly advancing. Now when you the other day I went to Kaufhof to get something. And they also have a guy who looks at you when you come in. There's a guy watching the door. That wasn't there before. So, you have been in India? Warst du schon mal in Indien? Oh, yeah. So, my machine is broken, so I have to read, even though it's a little difficult for me. By the way, is there somebody who knows how to fix electronics? My machine doesn't work at all. It doesn't start anymore.
I can have a look, Mark.
Huh?
I can check.
You can? Oh, thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from the 6th canto, chapter 11, the transcendental qualities of Vitarasura. Text 5. Yadiva paradhane shadha sharam bhakshullakaridi agredishtata matrambe Chetgram ya sukhe spriha Yadiva parane shadha Sharambakshu lakaride Agritishtata matrambe Chetgram ya sukhe spriha Yadiva parane shadha Sharam vakshulakaride Agritishtata matrambe Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Agrettishtata matram me
Agrettishtata matram me
Achet gramya sukhe spriha
Achet sukhe spriha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Agrettishtata matram me
Agrettishtata matram me
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Agrettishtata matram me
Agrettishtata matram me
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Agrettishtata matram me
Agrettishtata matram me
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Yadiva pradhane shraddha
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Saram vakshilakaridhi
Agrettishtata matram me
Agrettishtata matram me
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha
Nachet gramya sukhe spriha Yadi, if, va, of you, pradhane, in battle, shraddha, faith, saram, patience, va, or, kshulaka, or insignificant ones. Yeah, or insignificant ones. Ready, in the core of the heart, agre, in front, tishtata, just stand, matram, for a moment, me, of me, na, not, chet, if, gramyasuke, in sense gratification, spriha, desire. Translation, or insignificant demigods, if you truly have faith in your heroism, if you have patience in the cause of your hearts, and the course of your hearts, and if you are not ambitious for sense gratification, please stand before me for a moment. Purport. Rebuking the demigods, Vitasura challenged, O demigods, if you are actually heroes, stand before me now and try to show your prowess. If you do not wish to fight, if you are afraid of losing your lives, I shall not kill you, for unlike you, I am not so evil-minded as to kill persons who are neither heroic nor willing to fight. If you have faith in your heroism, please stand before me. So, we hear again about Vitasura. You know, he's very ideal kshatriya, like we heard before. And he was actually very intelligent. Actually, he was a devotee. He was just complying with his duties. And we heard this before from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, that sometimes the kings are devotees, but externally they're fulfilling their duties. And this is the case here too. Anyway, so he was challenging the demigods, he was fighting against the demigods. And normally you expect from the demigods that they also, how you say, geschmückt, what is that? Decorated, with all good qualities. The demigods are supposed to be based on the mode of goodness. That's how you become a demigod. Anyway, so and they are also described as devotees, but they're sakama devotees. They're not pure devotees. No, sakama means they still have their own interests. No, they're not like pure devotees. No? Pure devotee or devotion means that you fulfill your duties in devotional service without expectation for anything for your own, I say, benefit, so to say. That's what also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing in the Shikshastika. That he was expressing that he would be didn't matter if he was liberated or not, but rather he would like to be a devotee life after life. I remember there was some Sankirtan devotee for Srila Prabhupada once, and they were saying to Srila Prabhupada, "Oh Prabhupada, we would like to distribute books life after life." And Prabhupada was very, very pleased. They were not even interested in going back to the spiritual world or something. They were just eager to serve Srila Prabhupada to their best capacity. And that is actually required. That is actually the goal. This is what is our original constitutional position as eternal servants of Krishna. Now we have forgotten. I just heard Prabhupada saying that we cannot trace since when we came, or when we descended to the material world. And it doesn't really matter also. It doesn't really matter if we know or not. Once you become a devotee, you once become liberated, you become purified. These things also are understandable. In our condition, there are many things that we cannot comprehend. As long as we're devotees, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that he gives us all the intelligence, the necessary intelligence, whatever's necessary. Devotees are not interested to know everything. They're just actually interested in satisfying the spiritual master of Krishna, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's their primary tendency. That's want to serve Krishna. And whatever Krishna gives them, that's okay. And what Krishna doesn't give them, that's okay also. So this is our constitutional position. And we have here in the Bhagavatam, we have very, very many nice examples of devotees, or how they became devotees also, whatever condition. Just like now here, this Vitasura was actually cursed. He was cursed by Shiva's concert, because he was flying there. He had mystic powers. He became very powerful. He was instructed by Narada Muni. He gave him a mantra. And by this mantra, he became completely pure, completely God conscious, Krishna conscious. And in due course, he had also mystic powers because of that devotion to Krishna. And he started flying around, and he came to a place where he saw Shiva sitting there, surrounded by sannyasis and sages like that. And Shiva had his wife on his shoulders. Lap. So he just joked, he laughed. What is this? Shiva is a renunciant, and he has his wife on his lap. What is this? So that in Sati, she cursed him. He cursed him to get into this situation of Vitasura. And it's actually very, very nicely, there's some purpose in this regard, of this event, where Prabhupada says that actually, the wife of Shiva was a lady, and because of that she was less intelligent. Hare Krishna, sorry for this. Less intelligent. When this devotee appeared, Shiva was completely, renounced. He had a complete transcendental vision. But when she saw that he was laughing about the situation there, Shiva with his wife on his lap, she couldn't control her anger. And so she cursed him. Whereas Shiva remained completely, how to say, peaceful, not agitated in any way. So Parvati is expressing in this purpose. This is the limited intelligence. Was the limited intelligence of Sati. Anyway, so now this purport is very short, and I just noticed that these verses that come down, about more than 10 verses, all without purport. So I was thinking of reading them. Is that okay? Yes. But I will only read the translation. Shukadeva Swami said, Vritasura, the angry and most powerful hero, terrified the demigods with his stout and strongly built body. When he roared with a resounding voice, nearly all living entities fainted. So was können wir uns gar nicht mehr vorstellen heute, ne? Dass jemand so mächtig ist, dass er einfach nur, wenn er, wie sagt man das in Deutsch, roar? Brüllt, wenn er brüllt, ne? Dass die ganzen Lebewesen alle besinnungslos werden. That also, when it says it, heißt ja auch, wenn Hiranyakashipu erschien, da rohrt er auch, wie sagt man, hat auch gebrüllt. Und da heißt es im 7. Kanto, dass das Brüllen über das ganze Universum zu hören war. When all the demigods heard Vritasura's tumultuous roar, which resembled that of a lion, they fainted and fell to the ground as if struck by a thunderbolt. As the demigods closed their eyes in fear, Vritasura, taking up his trident and making the earth tremble with his great strength, trampled the demigods beneath his feet. And on the battlefield, the way a mad elephant tramples hollow bamboos in the forest. Yeah, so this is often elephants are mentioned. Here we don't have much experience with elephants. Just like in India, when an elephant appears in public, look at the elephant. And Prabhupada said that, but let's say the elephant is albino, then it even calls more attention. And Prabhupada compared his Western disciples, white disciples, with white elephants. As the demigods closed their eyes in fear, Vritasura, taking up his trident and making the earth tremble with his great strength, trampled the demigods beneath his feet on the battlefield. The way a mad elephant tramples hollow bamboos in the forest. Sorry, I repeated it. Seeing Vritasura's disposition, Indra, the king of heaven, became intolerant and threw at him one of his great clubs, which are extremely difficult to counteract. However, as the club flew towards him, Vritasura easily caught it with his left hand. Left hand. Normally we're strong with the wrong hand, with the right hand, right? Also, this is also shown in the past of Krishna Govardhan, when he lifted Govardhan. He didn't lift Govardhan with the right hand and the strongest finger maybe, but he left Govardhan with the left hand with a tiny finger, how do you say, klein finger, to show that he was he was very extremely powerful. O King Parikshit, the powerful Vritasura, the enemy of King Indra, angrily struck the head of Indra's elephant, with that club making tumultuous sound on the battlefield. For this heroic deed, the soldiers both sides glorified him. Struck with the club of Vritasura, like a mountain struck by a thunderbolt, the elephant Airavata, feeling great pain and spitting blood from his broken mouth, was pushed back 14 yards. In great distress, the elephant fell, with Indra on its back. That's also it's mentioned in the Shastra that all these great personalities, they have their own carriers. So he moves around on an elephant. It's actually mentioned in the name Airavata. Like Shiva also, he moves around on a bull. What was the name of the bull? Huh? Nandi. Yeah. And Brahma comes on a swan, a huge swan. What else? Who else?
Ganesh rides on a rat.
Huh?
Ganesh rides on a rat.
On a rat. And who else?
Durga on a tiger.
Durga on a tiger. Yeah, right.
Markandeya on a peacock.
Oh, yeah. Right. And Krishna also. Who's Krishna's carrier?
Garuda.
Garuda. Yeah. There's an airline, Garuda Airlines. What country was that?
Thailand.
Huh? Thailand. Yeah. Garuda Airlines. Okay. When he saw Indra's carrier elephant thus fatigued and endured, when he saw Indra morose because his carrier had been harmed and then away, the great soul Vitasudha, following religious principles, refrained from again striking Indra with the club. Taking this opportunity, Indra touched the elephant with his nectar-producing hand, and thus relieved the animal's pain and curing its injuries. Then the elephant and Indra both stood silently. Yeah, in former times, there were different powers that people had. It's like we mentioned many times that in former times, Brahmanas were very powerful. When they cursed somebody, the curse would take place. Just like Shringi. When Parikshit Maharaj disturbed his father, he actually offended his father. When Shringi heard about that, immediately went down to the river, touching the water with his Brahman thread, and cursed the king to die in 7 days by the bite of a snake. Yeah, and this actually took place. See, this was not just a childish kind of thing, but because he was the son of a Brahmin. At that time, the Brahmanas were very powerful. And that's actually also why everyone came and wanted blessings from them, because they were real. It was not just words, poesy, how to say that? Poetry. The king, when the great hero Vitasudha saw Indra, his enemy, O king, when the great hero Vitasudha saw Indra, his enemy, the killer of his brother, standing before him with a thunderbolt in his hand, designed to fight, Vitasura remembered how Indra had cruelly killed his mother. His brother. Thinking of Indra's sinful activities, he became mad with lamentation and forgetfulness. Laughing sarcastically, he spoke as follows. Sri Vitasura said, "He who has killed a Brahmana, he who has killed his spiritual master, indeed, he who has killed my brother is now, by good fortune, standing before me face to face as my enemy. O most abominable one, when I pierce your stone-like heart with my trident, I shall be freed from my debt to my brother. Only for the sake of living in the heavenly planets, you killed my elder brother, a self-realized, sinless, qualified Brahmana, who had been appointed your chief priest. He was your spiritual master, but although you entrusted him with the performance of your sacrifice, you later mercilessly severed his hands from his body, the way one butchers an animal. Indra, you are bereft of all shame, mercy, glory, and good fortune. Deprived of these good qualities by the reactions of your fruitive activities, you are to be condemned even by the man-eaters, Rakshasas. Now I shall pierce your body with my trident, and after you die with great pain, even fire will not touch you. Only the vultures will eat your body. Yeah, so vultures. We don't have vultures here. But there's vultures, like it's mentioned here, in India, in Africa, vultures. What is that? Hyena? Hyena? What is that in English?
Hyena.
Yeah. You can also see them in India. You hear them in Mayapur. At night you can hear the sound of the hyenas. They also have a lot of those in South America. You are naturally cruel. If the other demigods, unaware of my prowess, follow you by attacking me with raised weapons, I shall sever their heads with this sharp trident. With those heads I shall perform a sacrifice to Bhairava and the other leaders of the ghosts, along with their hordes. Yeah, so Bhagavatam also gives a lot of information that there's so many human species, kind of, not just Germans or Americans or Indians and black and white. They're described in the Shastras. The way their bodies are formed and their mentality. So also the leaders of the ghosts. There's not only ghosts, but there's also leaders of the ghosts. Prabhupada explained that sometimes when Brahmanas would become very sinful, and they, after giving up their body, they were not allowed to get a gross body because of their sinful activities. And they became, and because of their former Brahminical, constitution, they have so many mystic powers, musician, captain. And also, Prabhupada also explained that when sinful people die, they're not allowed to get a gross body immediately, but they stay some time in a ghost body. And they are liberated from that condition by Lord Shiva. He gives them permission to have a gross body again. You are naturally cruel. If the other demigods, unaware of my... But if in this battle you cut off my head with your thunderbolt and kill my soldiers, O Indra, O great hero, I shall take great pleasure in offering my body to other living entities, such as jackals and vultures. I shall thus be relieved of my obligations to the reactions of my karma, and my fortune will be to receive the dust from the lotus feet of great devotees like Narada Muni. And now there's a purport. Sri Narottama Das Thakur sings, E Chayaga Sanni Yare Moitara Dasa Tan Savara Barevenu Mora Panchagrasa. I am the servant of the 6 Goswamis, and the dust of their lotus feet provides my 5 kinds of food. A Vaishnava always desires the dust of the lotus feet of previous Acharyas and Vaishnavas. Ritasura was certain that he would be killed in the battle with Indra. Because this was the desire of Lord Vishnu. He was prepared for death because he knew that after his death he was destined to return home back to Godhead. This is a great destination, and it is achieved by the grace of the Vaishnava. Charya Vaishnava Seva Nihtara Payeche Keva No one has ever gone back to Godhead without being favored by a Vaishnava. In this verse, therefore, we find the words Manasavindam Pada Raja Prapatsye. I shall receive the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees. The word Manavinam refers to a great devotee. The word Manasvidam refers to great devotees who always think of Krishna. They are always peaceful, thinking of Krishna, and therefore they are called Dhira. The best example of such devotees is Narada Muni. If one receives the dust of the lotus feet of a Manasvi, a great devotee, he certainly returns home back to God. Also, Pavan is mentioning something very interesting here. Nobody can go back to Godhead without the blessings or the help of Vaishnavas. And that's why the Sadhu Sangha, the association with devotees, is mentioned in the first place. Amongst the five most important principles in devotional service, Rupa Goswami mentions Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha. Like I mentioned Sunday, sage mir, wer du bist und mit wem du umgehst und ich sage dir, wer du bist. This actually exists in many languages. They have it in Spanish, in English, in Deutsch, in English. Very, very important saying. So, when we have this opportunity to associate with pure devotees or advanced devotees, then the door to the spiritual world opens. Associate with the devotee in the proper attitude. Like it's mentioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Feel lower than the straw in the stream, more tolerant than the tree. Always ready to respect others without expecting respect for oneself. So this is the way you can appreciate the association with devotees. If you don't have this attitude, you just see devotees like ordinary people. You judge them like you judge others, any common person. And you actually not really taken advantage of this great opportunity. Just like Prabhupada came to the West, not everybody took advantage of that association. Even though Prabhupada is such a great personality, as time goes by, we realize more and more how great Prabhupada actually was. And also, not only that, also when Prabhupada was there, initial devotees left Prabhupada. I remember one story that there was a devotee who had blooped, became a Sishna of Prabhupada. And so they spoke, and then this devotee gave Prabhupada a gold ring, and Prabhupada put it on, and then Prabhupada kept it on. Why? In order so this devotee would continue doing service. Prabhupada was very eager to occupy everyone in devotional service, because this is actually the real blessing, to encourage devotees to do devotional service. Even though devotional service might not be easy, especially in the beginning, there's so many things that one has to learn, just like Kanishta Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. Kanishta, sometimes these neophytes, they have a lot of problems amongst themselves. And also they don't have much knowledge of what actually, who actually advanced devotees. And they don't have that discrimination yet. And sometimes become very problematic. And even sometimes we have to ask them, look, why don't you do something else? No. Or close the door from outside, please. I have an experience with this. And in the very beginning in Hamburg, Hans Rudder gave me the service of temple commander. I had to organize the temple. And there came a boy, an American boy, with a guitar. He wanted to join. And he was always playing blues. All day he was playing blues. And I told him, look, not here. Here we chant Hare Krishna and you chant outside. And he didn't listen, so I kicked him out. I threw him out of the temple. And then later on I went to India. We went to Mayapur. And I met him there. And he was a sannyasi. And so, I told him, look, sorry for you too. And he said, actually, if you wouldn't have thrown me out, I would have continued with all these offenses. But because you threw me out, I became more serious in my dedication to devotional service. Okay, any questions or any comments? Yeah.
Do the demigods actually stay demigods forever, or do they?
Sorry?
Do the demigods stay demigods forever, or do they turn into pure devotees one day? Do they become pure devotees?
Yeah, there's many examples in Bhagavatam. It's mentioned that they sometimes they commit mistakes, like Brahma also. When Krishna appeared in Vrindavan, Brahma didn't recognize him as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. He actually challenged him. He stole his friends, his cows, like this. No, at that time they were taking care of the kelba. What is that? Yeah, anyway. So just to see how he would react, how Krishna would react. And then he came back. After a moment, he came back. And actually, it says that a moment for Brahma is a long time here on this planet. What is it? Krishna, somebody. I'm sorry. I don't know how to stop this. Okay. Sorry, I brought my telephone because I thought I would read the Bhagavatam from the telephone, because there I can make the letters bigger. Oh, I forgot about it. Anyway, so, ja, habe ich deine Frage schon halbwegs beantwortet?
But do they actually become pure devotees one day, or is it like eternal, to be demigod, is it eternal? Some eternal
Not eternal. They're not eternal demigods. They become demigods because of their good karma. Yeah. Just like I mentioned this many times, Prabhupada said that Brahma, the supreme demigod in this universe. Bhagavan mentioned that he got this position because he was a devotee, but he still has a tendency to control and do things. Yeah. And you see, often the demigods are committing mistakes. Yeah. But we also heard that these demigods, they desire to take, to be present when on this planet when Krishna appears. Yeah. They consider, oh Krishna, why don't you stop this? I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got lost. Why don't you say something?
I have a question.
No, try to answer this. What do you say?
demigod is just like any other human, any other being. Somebody is human, somebody is demigod. This is just due to their karma, and depending on their personal interest, they become pure devotee or not pure devotee. There's no rule. If you're a demigod, you become. But there's also examples. For example, Narada Muni was in the Bhagavatam. He was offensive. He was singing kirtan, Krishna kirtan, but he was attracting women, so he was cursed. So he came down to this earth, and then he became a Narada Muni. So there's no rule of any place. The devotee can become. But in demigod, in the higher planets, there's more opportunity to become a devotee. It's not like they're all like enjoying now, drinking wonderful things. And it's an opportunity to actually get closer to Krishna than demigods.
Yeah,
So some of them have become devotees. It's just like here. Some of us become devotees, some of them not. Some of us not. It's the same as the material world.
Yeah, they have better karma.
So they don't have to fall back to the earth to become devotees. They can already become devotees on the heavenly planets.
Yeah, if they, it says it in Brahma Loka, those who are with Brahma, if they continue, they go back to Godhead along with Brahma. It's mentioned about him. But we also have our free will. Like you can sit here and hear Bhagavatam and worship the deities, chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam in the temple, have all the association with devotees. But maybe you don't want to do it. You open the door, take your rucksack, and leave. What can we do? This is your choice. Yeah. Of course, it would be not be so nice, and they will probably do anything. You will probably try to, change your mind again, or he, or other devotees. But ultimately, it's your own choice. Like in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, now I have explained everything to you. Now you decide what you want to do. At no moment, Krishna is, blackmailing Arjuna. If you don't do, no. Is that what? No. You can do or not. It's up to you. But I have given you all the knowledge now. Now you decide what you want to do. And it's voluntary. It's voluntary. Nobody will force you to do anything here. Of course, if you become a rascal, they maybe force you to get out. Or even call the police or something like that. As Prabhupada said once, these temples are not for the lazy and not for the crazy. Yeah.
What it means, maybe it's a stupid question. A stupid question of a marriage of a woman, yeah? Does it mean that demigods are the median?
A what?
They are
A what?
median. They more transparent.
Medium.
Medium. Yeah.
Is it or not?
I don't understand your question.
So is it correct or not?
What?
That the demigods are mediums, so they can transfer, they can be more in the connection with Krishna. They can more serve Krishna. They can transfer. They're more in deeper relations with Krishna.
Yes.
Or it doesn't matter.
Yes, they're great devotees. But, actually, these examples are given in the Bhagavatam. How, actually, Brahma, it says in the Bhagavatam, Brahma also fell down at one point. And, but then I remember Srila Prabhupada explained that it's not a question of fall down. This is not extraordinary. But how to get up again, to correct your position. You become repentant and all this. Ich weiß nicht, in Deutsch gibt es besondere Ausdrücke. Ja? In der Psychologie, dass wir dann sagen, anyway. You understood what I said? You understood what I said? Yeah. Just like in court, also. Yeah? Just like somebody has committed an abominable activity, and if he's repentant, repentant? How say that? Yeah, repentant. die Strafe ist hat nicht die gleiche Härte, wie wenn jemand einfach darauf besteht, dass er nichts Schlechtes gemacht hat und vielleicht das Gericht auch den Richter beschimpft und alles sowas. Ne? Ja. Ja. It's like that prediction, when he met Kali, the most abominable personality, the personality of this age of Kali, and with all the qualities of Kali, and he was doing something very abominable. Yeah? And when Parikshit Maharaj saw that, he was immediately ready to cut off his head. Yeah? There was no court case, there was no lawyers and Staatsanwälte und dergleichen. Immediately. Of course, Prabhupada also explained that this was actually not seen so much, or not seen at all. That people would mistreat cows and all this. So it was very extraordinary at that time. But then, when Kali saw that it was serious matter, that he was ready to kill him, he immediately fell at his feet and repented and asked for forgiveness. Yeah. Yeah.
What happens actually to Prabhupada when he does things he should not do as a sannyas, but to keep devotees inspired? Is he somehow affected by it, or is it like non-existent?
No. It's a question of purpose, what the purpose is. Prabhupada didn't do this to see others suffer or something like that, but he did it for their good. Just like Prabhupada always gives an example, like the father. He might chastise his son for doing something bad, but it's actually for the good of the child. Yeah. I was just thinking, the other day I was meditating on my parents. When I became a devotee, they didn't like it at all. They thought I was crazy, this and that. But then, as time passed, when I saw my father the last time, he was already weak, couldn't move anymore, he was laying on the bed. And I gave him my hand, gedrückt, and he said, bleib ein guter Mensch. That means like he had some realization. He saw that actually I have become somewhat or other guter Mensch. Bleib ein guter Mensch. So I was thinking of that, and actually, now that so many years have passed, I'm actually very grateful to my parents. I was a real rebel. Rebel? I was a very, very heavy at that time. Yeah. And my father even beat me sometimes, heavy beating. Mit dem Bügel, weißt du, no? Mit dem Bügel. Because I was such a bad guy, But as time has passed, I see it completely different. Yeah. They were actually very good parents. But I didn't fit in there. Yeah, anyway, so Prabhupada ist hat immer seinen Brief unterschrieben mit Your ever well-wisher. Wie sagt man well-wisher in Deutsch?
Gönner.
Ha? Gönner? Ah ja? Dein ewiger Gönner. Prabhupada schrieb seine Briefe mit dein ewiger Gönner. Ja. Prabhupada hat auch manchmal darüber gesprochen, hat Prabhupada eine ganz besondere Haltung angenommen, und hat gesagt, actually, I have to be heavy like this. I'm sorry for being heavy, but this is meine Verantwortung sozusagen. Ja. Eine andere Sache, wenn Prabhupada ärgerlich wurde, wir hören zum Beispiel das Zorn, haben wir auch Sonntag darüber gesprochen. Hier, das war hier in der Klasse. Das Zorn und Neid und all diese Dinge, die existieren auch in der Reihenform. Wie sagt man? Reihenform. Zum Beispiel, wenn Prabhupada ärgerlich wurde und geschimpft und seine Stimme erhoben hat, wie sagt man Deutsch? Erhoben hat, konnte er im nächsten Moment sofort wieder, der hatte seinen Zorn völlig unter Kontrolle. Der hat den Zorn benutzt. Ja. Und wenn wir gerade über Zorn sprechen, Prabhupada hat mal erklärt, dass Kshatriyas, wenn die kämpfen, die müssen zornig sein. Ja? Die können da nicht Haribol, Haribol. Die müssen zornig sein, zornig auf ihre Feinde. Yeah. Man kann nicht kämpfen, man kann nicht töten, wenn man nicht zornig ist. Jai! Und Prabhupada benutzte den Zorn zu unserem Nutzen. Und Prabhupada hat nochmal gesagt, dass nur 3-mal kann man etwas tolerieren. Ich kann mich, da war ein Dieb in Mayapur. Und die Devotees wollten die Polizei rufen. Und haben das Prabhupada dann, ich glaube, die haben sogar zu Prabhupada gebracht und so. Und er hat Prabhupada dem Dieb gesagt, so, wir verzeihen dir. Aber ich weiß nicht, die Details kenne ich nicht mehr genau so. Aber dann war irgendwann das Maß voll. Und der Prabhupada, now you call the police. Ein paar Mal hat er das toleriert, aber dann hat Prabhupada gesagt, no, now call the police. Ja, ich habe euch auch erzählt von unserem Kampf da in Hamburg, im Kapitelbusch, ich mit den Rockern. Da waren wir zornig, weißt du? Zorn im Dienste Krishnas, um den Tempel und die Devotees zu beschützen. Ja. Und wenn man nicht zornig ist als Kshatriya, nimmt dann keiner ernst. Und Krishna selbst hat auch die Neigung zu kämpfen. Er macht auch gerne kämpfen mit Feinden. Das ist auch in Krishna. Und deshalb erscheint Krishna außer Kshatriya, der erscheint in Kshatriya-Familien. Ja. Anyway, Hare Krishna. Habe ich deine Fragen beantwortet?
Kann ich noch was
Ja.
vorbereitet?
Habe ich dann deine Fragen bisher beantwortet?
Ja, also teilweise.
Teilweise.
Kann ich noch was fragen?
Oder?
Kann ich noch was fragen?
Ja.
Auf Deutsch oder auf Englisch?
Was immer du willst.
What about the other things sannyasis should not do? For example, there's the story Prabhupada ate a whole pot of halava just to please one devotee. But what happens to him? Is he affected when he eats that much halava in his age?
Prabhupada liked halava. There's stories of Prabhupada at night all of a sudden, before taking rest, Prabhupada said, bring me halava. So, das ist nichts Widersprüchliches. Und zum Beispiel auch, wenn man ein spiritueller Meister ist, dann, und die Schüler, die opfern dem spirituellen Meister Dinge, dann, oder zum Beispiel auch geben Spenden und dergleichen. Das ist eine große Verantwortung, die man hat. Wie das zum Beispiel mit dem Goldring, vom Prabhupada, mit dem goldenen Ring. Dass nämlich der spirituelle Meister diese Opfer akzeptieren muss. Und dass er ihm dankbar dafür ist, dass er ermutigt, weiterzumachen. Zum Beispiel haben wir jetzt beim Vyasa Puja in Abenteuer, da habe ich viele Geschenke bekommen. Einige Geschenke sind völlig Entschuldigung. Aber ich bewahre die immer noch in dem Bewusstsein aus, dass ich das von diesem Schüler bekommen habe. Das war einfach ein Opfer. Und jetzt muss ich mir den Kopf zerbrechen, wie ich das benutze. Ne? Ich habe zum Beispiel einen Schüler in Argentinien, ne? Der hat mir durch die Devotis, die hergekommen hat er mir ein Paket geschickt. Ne? Und da sind 2 Deities von Krishna drin, aus blauem Plastik. Ne? Die hat er selber gemacht. Ne? Jai, Hare Krishna. Ne? Sehr schwer, dieses Geschenk praktisch zu benutzen. Und das ist nicht nur Plastik, sondern das ist auch nur halb, ne? Wie sagt man so, nur der obere Teil von Krishna ist so, wie er sein soll, der untere Teil nicht. Aber der hat sich bemüht, ne? Was für seinen spirituellen Meister zu machen. Klar, der ist ein bisschen bedingt, ne? Könnt ihr schon verstehen, ein bisschen bedingt. Aber den muss ich auch, der ist im Laufe der Zeit hat er Probleme bekommen, ne? Psychologische Probleme. Am Anfang war er ganz wie alle anderen und dann ging es mehr und mehr, das Ganze verzerrt, ne? Mehr und mehr. Shila Prabhupada Ki!